How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. We're going to be talking about, obviously, the possibility of Nev Campbell returning, possibly to Scream 7, and also Stu coming back as well. Now, I've been talking about this for quite a while, like, about the whole, Stu return, and also just the Sidney return. And I was basically saying that if Sidney, let's just say if Stu comes back, well, and Sidney's not in the movie, well, I'm just going to say that we're not going to get Stu. And the reason why I say that is because, Sidney, like, why would he want to go after Sam? I don't understand why he would want to go after her as opposed to going after, Sidney, the person that he went to high school with. Like, you know what I mean? I just don't really see what would be the point for him to go after, Sam as opposed to Sidney, I don't think it doesn't really make that much sense. So that's why I think that if Sidney's not in this movie, I think that Stu, I don't think we get Stu. Okay? And the reason is, like I said, because Sam, like, what ties does he have with Sam? He doesn't have any ties. He doesn't have any ties with Sam. Like, the only tie that he really has with her is probably the Billy. That's because Billy's her dad. I mean, that's probably the only thing. But other than that, there's really no ties. Like, I don't understand why I just don't really see him going after her, you know what I mean? I don't think it really makes that much sense. Honestly, I think it makes more sense for him to go after, Sidney. The person that he went to school with, the person that threw the TV on him. He's going to want revenge on her, So, that's just my opinion. And will Nev come back? I don't really know. It's been rumored that for this trilogy that she is going to come back and that this movie's definitely going to be her last, which I think it should be. She's been doing these movies she's done 5 movies already, and this would be her 6th. So I think this definitely should be her last. If she does come back, then maybe we'll get that, a better ending, for the character. Because Scream 5, I felt like it wasn't good enough, And Scream 5, the ending just wasn't good enough, to me. So I think if she came back, it would be better, especially if he had that Stu return. Is it going to happen? I'm not going to guarantee it, but I hope it does. And if it does, like I said, I just don't see him returning. If Sidney's not in the movie, I just don't see him returning. I just don't see him returning. If Sidney is not in the movie, then you basically messed up the whole storyline, and you built up to the Stu return, and then if Nev Campbell doesn't come back, well, you basically ruined, your story. So that's basically my problem, with it. If Nev Campbell doesn't come back, and they built up the whole Stu return, already, and she decides not to come back, well, you basically ruined, your chances. So that's why I'm saying it makes more sense for him to return with Sidney, and I just think it makes the most sense. Because it was supposed to happen in Scream 3, but originally, he was supposed to come back. He was actually going to be the mastermind. So if they planned on doing it in Scream 3, why wouldn't they do it now? You know what I mean? I know it's different movie studios, but still, I mean, I think they could do it. I think they built up for it. They built up, they're building up towards it. It seems like, anyways. Scream 5, speculation about him killing, Dewey. Scream 6, whole bunch of Easter eggs. People saying that he attacked Gale and all that. And just the mentions of him in the movie. that conversation with him, Mindy and Kirby, about the TV thing, So that's just like there's just so much Easter eggs in these movies, like in those two films. It just kind of goes to show that it seems like that's what they're planning on doing. Like they already like know basically what they're gonna do. Like that's the way I see it personally. Because why would they do that? Why would they put that stuff in the movies, in Screen 5 and Screen 6, if they didn't plan on doing it? So that's just my feeling. I hope I'm right. I really hope I'm right. Um, and is Sidney going to return? Is Nev going to return? I'm not guaranteeing it, but I do think it's possible. You know, because I don't know how she feels about the whole money thing, and also I don't know how she feels about the whole. Because from what I heard, I don't know if you guys heard this, but from what I heard that Matthew Lillard was pissed about that situation as well. I don't know if you guys knew that, but I heard that he was kind of pissed about that situation about the money thing, and most of the Scream cast was pretty pissed. Even David Arquette was pissed about the situation, you know. So it was a big mess there, but a lot of people say, well, Matthew Lillard, is he mad at the studio for that? Is he gonna still return even if they did Nev that way? Is Nev gonna return? Even though they did that shit to her, is she gonna forgive them for that? I have no idea. I have no idea. I hope so. I hope so. That's all. Paramount made a big mistake, in my opinion. They should have just gave her the money that she deserved. Money that she's the face of she's the face of the franchise. So I just don't. They did her dirty. So let me know in the comments. Do you guys think that Stu's gonna come back? Do you guys think that Nev's gonna come back? Um, or do you guys think that it's just gonna be somebody else that's gonna be in the trilogy? That's somebody that we don't know. Because honestly, I think they built up towards it perfectly. I think Sidney coming back would be perfect if she negotiates obviously with Paramount and she forgives him for that. Same with Matthew Lillard. Like there's a lot of unknowns. All right, a lot of people saying that Matthew Lillard was pissed at him. A lot of people are saying that Nev was pissed at him, obviously, because what they did to her, obviously. But the main thing is, hearing, that Matthew Lillard is pissed at him, was pissed at, Paramount for that. That just kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know if he would, like, be willing to negotiate with them still. I have no idea, but, let me know, like, in the comments, like, what you guys think about that whole situation. And just let me know if you guys think these two characters, if you guys think Stu's going to return, and do you guys think that Stu, just let me know if it makes more sense for Stu to go after Sidney. Because I think it does. But anyways, guys, see y'all in the next one.